Have you ever wondered what happens in her mind when you stop texting and talking to her? She may appear unconcerned, but her psychology is changing. Curiosity shifting. Peaks of self-doubt creeps in and control slips away. In addition to missing you, your silence has a major impact on her mindset. Today, I'll show you exactly what happens when you ignore her and how this one small action can completely change the course of events. Don't miss this opportunity, and before we do, make sure you become a member. We will soon release exclusive videos that cover all the strategies for mastering modern relationships, so don't miss this opportunity. Section 1. The instantaneous response. When you stop messaging and contact her, her initial reaction is often not sadness or longing, but rather uncertainty and ego shock. In today's world, women are accustomed to constant attention, and the constant bombardment of social media dating apps and direct messages from men has conditioned them to expect instant approval, leading to confusion. She is used to being the one who initiates the pursuit. The first response: perplexity and self-shock. Who is given priority, so when you break the mold and stop pursuing her, it absolutely throws her off, which is where her ego suffers. Modern women, particularly those in this generation, frequently base their sense of value on how much attention they can get. When you break this cycle, you're essentially telling her, "I'm not like the others," and the message doesn't just hurt, it lingers. She begins to wonder why he isn't texting her. Did I do something wrong, or is he seeing someone else? Her ego struggles to accept the sudden dominance of someone she thought she had control over, but it's important to note that these questions are focused on her, not on you. This is the power of disrupting her routine. You help her understand that not every man will conform to her expectations, and that's when the transformation begins. On the surface, she may act indifferent, post stories on Instagram to seem unconcerned, or even strike up conversations with other guys to fill the void. But on the inside, she's looking for answers. Your silence has left a void in her life, and she doesn't know how to fill it. Humans naturally seek closure, and the lack of it leaves her mind reeling. She starts to replay every interaction you had, analyzing every word you said, and looking for clues about why you've gone quiet at this point. In today's dating culture, she starts to lose control over who texts first, who responds, and who shows less interest. However, it seems like you've reversed the dynamics. Section 2. Overthinking stage. Curiosity turns to obsession as time passes and you maintain your silence. Here's the psychological trick. When you were constantly texting and calling your attention, it was abundant, and she may have taken it for granted, but now that you've taken it back, your attention is a scarce commodity, and scarcity breeds desire. She starts to crave the validation she once had, and this craving slowly turns into obsession. You might notice subtle changes at this point. Perhaps she starts liking your old social media posts. By ignoring her, you've taken control of the dynamic without saying a single word. The loss of control makes her uncomfortable and makes her want to focus on you even more. Seeing your experiences in a matter of seconds or giving mutual friends cues isn't arbitrary. Rather, they're an effort to restore the bond she believes is eroding. She is over-analyzing because she fears losing the attention she used to receive, not simply because she misses you. See Section 3, the emotional aspect. Overthinking begins. Curiosity to obsession roller coaster, doubt, regret, and longing. Once the overthinking begins, she embarks on an emotional journey, initially questioning her own abilities and wondering if she has pushed him away. These ideas are challenging for her, as they force her to confront aspects of herself that she has been avoiding, leading her to reminisce about the good times. The last and most powerful stage is longing. In a world filled with superficial interactions, she recognizes that you provided her with something genuine, and now it's no longer available. By now, your absence has created a void. She can't ignore every text she receives, every call you don't make, and she starts looking for ways to reconnect, even if it means swallowing her pride. But here's the thing. You're no longer chasing her. She must come to you, and that shift in dynamic is where your power lies. As her feelings deepen, you become indispensable. When you were always available, she might have thought of you as just another guy, but now that you're gone, she realizes how special you are. Scarcity again. The less accessible, the more valuable. Let's face it, most men won't be able to match the confidence, emotional control, and self-respect you've shown by leaving already. You're no longer just a memory. You're a standard. She starts to idealize you, remembering only the positive times and ignoring your shortcomings. Your absence makes her value you more, not because you're perfect. The emotional roller coaster begins when she begins to see you as irreplaceable due to doubt and longing. And it is this realization that motivates her to return. Section 5 is the action moment, when she reaches out. Following all of the over-analyzing, emotional upheaval, and perception changes, there is a breaking point. This is the when she chooses to get in touch. It could be via direct messaging, a casual text, or a remark on your article, but don't make a mistake. When she reaches out, it's not just about reconnecting. It's also about exploring whether you're still interested and whether she still has a chance to regain control. This isn't random. It's the culmination of everything she's been feeling since you stopped talking to her. However, this is where your response counts. Set the tone. You're the one she's pursuing, not the man. Keep in mind that your power is in upholding your boundaries and self-respect. Avoid reverting to your previous tendencies of being overly available. Instead, maintain a balanced relationship and allow her to demonstrate her value for your time and attention. Making her feel valued is more important than playing games, and the relationship will change forever. Section 6. The impact of social evidence. How do other people emphasize your worth? The influence of social proof is one of the most potent psychological effects you get when you ignore her and leave. People are always checking social media these days, not only to see what you're doing, but also to see how others see you. This is where things get interesting because she watches from a distance how others interact with you, and it can greatly affect how valuable she thinks you are. First, your absence compels her to observe how others interact with you, particularly if you're doing well and posting accomplishments. She starts to question whether everyone else holds him in such high regard, or whether she made a mistake by letting him go, as social proof often encourages comparison. Spending time with friends or just living your best life conveys the message that you're doing just fine without her. The idea of someone else having your attention makes her question everything. Third, social proof elevates your status, even if she initially took you for granted. Seeing others value you changes the narrative in her mind. You're no longer just an ex or someone she ignored. You're now someone who commands respect and admiration, and that shift is what drives her to reconsider her actions. Modern women, especially those influenced by social media, are acutely aware of how others compare to them, and they become jealous when they see others showing interest in them or expressing admiration. The power that is subtle, why everything of indifference is changed by silence. When you genuinely cease caring about what she thinks, it produces an unshakable aura of confidence and self-assurance, which is an enormously underestimated asset in relationships. Being really detached and putting yourself first disarms her. Most women are accustomed to emotional reactions, so it's important to avoid acting in such a way. When you react with indifference to anger, sadness, or frustration, it surprises her. She expects you to react and fight for her attention, but you remain calm and collected. This makes her reevaluate her own actions, and second, it puts the focus back on you rather than wasting energy trying to win her back or prove your value. Interests and personal development. This self-centeredness enhances your beauty by demonstrating that you feel whole without her approval. Ultimately, apathy breeds curiosity because it keeps her wondering. She begins to wonder why you're not pursuing her and whether you've moved on. This interest keeps her emotionally connected even when you're not talking to her. How ignoring her causes remorse. Ignoring her causes more than simply quiet. It causes sorrow. Here are several ways that neglecting her causes remorse, one of the strongest feelings, to build over time. This sensation. The first regret arises from lost opportunities. When you stop texting and calling, she begins to consider what she could have done differently. Did she push you away? Did she take you for granted? These thoughts nag at her, leaving her with an unshakable sense of loss. The second regret increases as she witnesses your growth and realizes that you're doing better without her. This isn't just envy. It's also the realization that she lost someone, and her third regret intensifies with each passing moment. When she meets new people, she will inevitably compare them to you. If you have been a high-value man who is self-assured, kind and purposeful, such comparisons won't benefit anyone else. The disparity only intensifies her regret. Recall the part about how time influenced her sentiments. When it comes to ignoring her, time is one of the most potent factors because it not only creates distance but also magnifies everything she feels. At first, it gives her the opportunity to reflect on what she may have lost in the chaos of daily life, but as time passes and the dust settles, she begins to see the bigger picture and recalls the good times, the special connection you shared, and the things she finds it difficult to let go of things that have happened to her twice. If there were conflicts or disagreements, time allows those feelings to subside, leaving only joyful memories. And it is those recollections that motivate her to re-evaluate her choices. The third time shows her your strength by remaining silent and focusing on yourself, proving that you can succeed even without her, because it demonstrates to her your independence and ability to handle any challenge life presents. This resilience is quite alluring. In Part 10, she ultimately comes to the profound realization that letting go was a mistake after all the turmoil, over-analyzing, and emotional upheaval. She knows that mourning you isn't enough. She must accept what she lost and why she can't let go. She begins to see the difference between the superficial attention she receives from others and the depth you brought into her life through your mannerisms, independence, and self-respect. Not all men are the same in today's world, where attention is simple to find, but meaningful connection is not. She doesn't encounter these situations often, and it was then that she realized your uniqueness. She let you go the moment she recognized your strength in you. You showed emotional maturity and self-control, which she now recognizes are uncommon and incredibly beautiful, by walking away when most men would have pleaded or begged to stay in her life. Last but not least, she realizes that your absence has left a void that she can't ignore, whether it's your confidence, your sense of humor, or the way you made her feel secure. As time passes, she realizes that it won't be easy or even possible to fill that void with anyone else. In this final stage, her regret isn't just emotional, it's deeply rooted in the understanding that she let go of someone who can't be replaced, and that realization will remain with her whether she reaches out to you or not. Now you know what happens when you ignore her and walk away. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more insightful content. Comment below what you're doing to improve your life. See you in the next one.